Let's give a big round of applause to Nick.
Hi, everyone. I'm Nick Van Eck. I'm the CEO and one of the co-founders of Agora. I'll maybe start by just sharing a little bit on my story and how I got into crypto in the first place. But I come from an asset management family and got exposed to markets at a very early age, and was working at a hedge fund in 2016 when actually the founder of that firm was investing in Bitcoin. And this guy was running a $20 billion hedge fund, and I said, okay, maybe I should finally look into this too. And as Lily pointed out earlier today, the original vision of Bitcoin was to be this peer-to-peer cash network. It's obviously evolved to become much closer to digital gold, and people don't want volatility in sort of their assets, and that's why we have stable coins today. And back then, there were very few devs, very few apps that were actually being built on chain, the ICO boom. And so I continued in my day job as a technology investor, where I spent my whole career investing primarily in enterprise software companies and really the cloud transformation. So writing, $20 to $120 million checks in these businesses. And DeFi Summer is when I got really back into crypto. There were finally applications that you could use to move money around the world. And I felt that it was very obvious that blockchain was going to eat financial services and payments. And one of the fundamental innovations is that you can move money from point A to point B in seconds for a fraction of the cost of the traditional system. And so convinced the managing partners of my firm, General Catalyst, which is a large multi-stage venture firm, to let me invest in the space. Did that for about 12 to 18 months, and then realized that it was time to just go build a company that I believe should exist. It was very obvious that stablecoins were going to be the stepping stone to really everything, whether it was cross-border payments, institutional tokenization of markets, cross-border FX. And I felt that the money that we were creating was already broken. You had really this duopoly of centralized issuers that in one case didn't interact with many of their customers directly, and in the other had many conflicts of interest. They were obviously a co-issuer with one of the largest exchanges in the space. And so I was looking at this market, and billions of dollars was getting sucked out each year by these two participants. And so what I wanted to initially do is fix the money, right? And drive a lot of the economic value back to the people that were driving liquidity and utility of these assets. And so those were DeFi protocols, centralized applications. And so I left GC to start Agora a little over a year ago. We launched a stablecoin about 6 months ago. Already have 9 figures in TVL, billions in transactions, over 25,000 active users on chain. But the goal is to really bring money in traditional businesses and their users on chain. And so the first thing is the stablecoin, but we are planning to do much more. And so that's what I wanted to chat about today, which is going from being just sort of the monetary asset up the stack. You have traditional rails, like settlement rails, like Solana. But when you're the issuer, you're actually sitting at the lowest level of the stack, below infrastructure and below the application layer. And that enables you to do everything sort of above you or downstream from you, cheaper and better. And so we've already started to build additional infrastructure, but what we're really getting into today and what we wanted to announce is going into the application layer, right? And so becoming the financial operating system for businesses. And so, when you onboard with Agora, not only do you have access to digital dollars and the revenue sharing that we'll do with you, but you have one financial operating system for your fiat assets, your crypto assets, and the goal is to really move everything from just your banking system, expense management, your payment system into one nice hub. Whether you're just checking your balances, swapping currencies, earning interest, etc. So we have a beautiful unified accounts page for both fiat and crypto. And the goal is that, whether you're on Solana, Avalanche, Mantle, Ethereum, you can be moving your money and accessing your accounts in a seamless way that abstracts away a lot of the nuances of crypto. And so the goal is to sort of move beyond just crypto native businesses to the traditional PSPs of the world and have everything in one place for them. And so, we're also announcing later this week is our minting function. So you'll be able to mint 24/7 against existing stablecoins. But the big innovation here is that you're now going to be able to mint 24/7 against tokenized treasury products. And so, we're big believers that tokenized treasuries and traditional fixed income assets will move into the space. And one of the biggest barriers of adoption to them today is that they don't have 24/7 liquidity or any markets for these assets. And so, as you can see on the side here, assets like USTB from Superstate, USYC from Hashnote, the Spyco team, we've onboarded the 10 largest tokenized treasury issuers. And so we're now actually creating a market for these assets. And so if you're an OTC desk trading firm, you can now use AUSD as your conduit to get out of these assets. We also have one very clear real-time view of all of your activity. So whether you're sending to your bank at JP Morgan, sending to a PSP, sending to an exchange, you're going to have your real-time view here for you. And then lastly, payments, right? If you're making invoices or payments to different organizations, you can do that all through the Agora dashboard. What we'll be adding early next quarter as well is the ability to go in and out of different FX. So whether you're going from HKD fiat to AUSD or USDC or Mexican peso fiat, you're going to be able to do that seamlessly in one API through the Agora dashboard. And then this is your treasury function. So what we want to do is as traditional businesses come on chain and interact with the Agora web app, is bring them into places like Aave or Morpho or Huma without them even needing to really go into those applications, right? So if you're a payment business that you've onboarded with Agora for AUSD, well, maybe you can also access financing via Huma that's embedded in our application. And so bring a lot of the traditional businesses of this world onto this permissionless money layer. And that's it. Thank you.